Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced he has fired his ambassador to China in a terse two-paragraph press release late Saturday afternoon. The Liberals confirmed McCallum had to be let go for his comments about Meng Wanzhou. Jim Nicol will now represent Canada in Chinese affairs. McCallum being fired comes as we learn another Canadian has reportedly been detained in China on allegations of fraud. Chinese media report the 61-year-old man is accused of trying to defraud an unnamed entertainment company out of $375 million Canadian. Two others, Canadians, have been detained in China since December, accused of endangering national security. And Robert Schellenberg, formerly of Abbotsford, was sentenced to death after being convicted of drug smuggling. Danielle Smith from 770 CHQR joins us this morning to continue this conversation. It's a situation that is getting worse and worse. Danielle, is there any way for Canada and China to fix the relationship?
Well, it's they need to do something, because if you don't have an ambassador in place, often the process to get them reinstalled can take months. And so we don't have months on this file. Some experts are suggesting that Trudeau appoint a special envoy, someone who hopefully has a good relationship with China, as John McCallum did, to try to navigate through how we're going to resolve this issue. In some ways, it's got to be confusing for the public, because I think John McCallum is saying out loud what a lot of people are thinking. Yeah, gosh, it would be best for Canada if the U.S. would just drop its extradition request, especially since the U.S. president doesn't seem all that enthusiastic about it. So he's voicing what I think generally people are thinking. Why is it that Canada is the one who's caught in the crosshairs of an action that the U.S. initiated when the U.S. doesn't seem to be suffering any retaliation? But that's not how the world of diplomacy works. In the world of diplomacy, you have to have your ambassador walking in lockstep with the government. And our government has decided that we're backing our most important ally and trading partner, the United States. So you can't have your ambassador freelancing and going off in a different direction. The question, though, is how does this get resolved? I don't think it can get resolved until either the extradition is complete and it now falls into U.S. hands, or if the U.S. decides that they are going to drop it because they've got broader strategic interests with China. I think that we're going to continue seeing it escalate, and that's the unfortunate part, is that when our diplomats mess up, real Canadian lives are at risk. And so not just with the two or the three, I guess, Canadians that are now detained, but what could be the further retaliation and the further ramping up. I don't think that we have any interest in going tit for tat. Again, this extradition wasn't something that was initiated by us. It was initiated at the request of the Americans. So this is where we're in one big fine mess, but we need to have a person who can be the point person for the contact with China. It needs to happen immediately. And we'll see what kind of recommendations are coming forward on that front. We're going to speak with Sarah Goldfeeder today. She comments often on Canada-U.S. relations, so we're going to see if she can broaden this out and give us her perspective.
A good perspective. Something to listen to starting at 9:30 on 770 CHQR. Thank you, Danielle.
My pleasure.